All right. Today, we're going to talk about the inverted yield curve and your capital accounts. We're going to put all this stuff together. So, the yield curve inverted, the stock market crashed. And see, this is something very special about this event. This is the second time that the yield curve has inverted in 8 months, which means the recession that's coming is on lock. I talked about this about 18, 19 months ago, telling you what was coming. It's coming, and it's going to be brutal. It's going to be a problem for a lot of people. So, what does one do? Because I figure what Donald's going to do is try to put this off as long as possible. He's already blaming the media for trying to move us to a recession. His ill-suited policies and tariffs are doing way more damage than the media. So we're going to talk about capital accounts. And these are accounts that you have set up for your holding company that you've been putting money into consistently, if you have that. Because what's about to happen is everything's about to go on sale. People about to go on sale. Houses are going to go on sale. Talent, everything you can imagine. It's going on sale. So if you're not prepared now, you still have a little time. So what does this inverted yield curve means to you? You need to be getting out of debt as quick as possible. If you're in a lot of debt where you're just paying the minimums, what you need to do is go ahead and get you a side hustle, start addressing that debt. This is what happens to these large companies that go out of business. They're over leveraged. They have too much debt. And from a personal standpoint, we're going to have a lot of people in a similar situation. Jimmy Crave, I saw on the news that over 5,000 retail stores about to close this year. So one of the things you need to do is get your personal financial house in order, which means getting rid of debt, trimming the fat, getting as lean as you can. Because what is a recession? Things slow down. Things don't stop. They just slow down. And depending on where you're positioned, depending on what kind of assets you have, you may be okay, or you may be one of the ones who will be struggling. Because this recession is going to be brutal to the average man, to people in trucking, to people who do manual labor jobs. They're about to catch those L's. Because one of the things that happens during a recession is you get rid of stuff you don't need. So a lot of these companies that have, Joe who takes these 2-hour lunch breaks, bye-bye, Joe. Companies are going to be making some hard decisions. So if you don't have up your holding company set up and your capital accounts, whoa. Because, I keep preaching this and I keep telling you guys, you need a holding company. Even if you're not really sure what kind of business you're going to start so your corporation can be getting some age, so you can play the corporate game. Because one of the things that's about to happen is you're going to see some strange stuff going down. Like Trump is freaking out right now because if we have a recession during an election year, he's not getting reelected. It's never happened. And, there are many people who feel that he would easily be reelected. I am seeing people turn against him because it's just gotten that kind of ridiculous. And we talking about money, ain't nothing funny. Foreclosure nightmare coming to a city block near you. Could be. Could be. See, what's going to happen is businesses that don't know how to market are in deep doo-doo. You got a business that's getting word of mouth, people coming in. They doing okay, but they never took time to learn how to run Facebook ads. They never took time how to run Google ads. They don't know how to run a marketing campaign. They're going to be in trouble. So we're going to have a lot of that. Jimmy Cave, 3 million people about to lose their food stamps. What? Not going to happen. Because, see, the government has the largest deficit it's ever had under Trump, more so than Obama. So you're going to see a big push to cut entitlement programs. So food stamp, I can see that. I can see that happening. But how many of you are prepared for this next recession? Because a recession is a great time for you to come up. Yeah, you're holding company, you have a funded capital account, which means you have money. Because, this is one of the things that everyone loves to use, other people's money. During a recession, OPM gets hard to come by. So for the people who know how to make money that way, they're going to have to find a new way of making money. Malik Vanderpool, Trump is taking too many gambles too close to election time. I think in Midway's invasion of Iran or something like this, it says in the hole if all it fails. Yep, starting a war. Be real, someone's got to get rich off others people's failure to plan. Well, not me. Ace 1, 2008 was just a warm up. This depression is going to be biblical. The USA is the best burning house on the block. Wow. All right. Congratulations, Rod, for real estate. I'm finally in a decent position to make some things happen. Ian Roberts, if we have a full-blown recession, Trump's not going to win. I know y'all like saying that because you like to see the great white hope in office. But the fact is, more and more people turn against him every day. And if we're in a recession, he ain't going to win. It's never happened in history before. And what's funny about this is he's pushing us toward a recession with his ill thought out policies, these tariffs, these fights. It's amazing. But what if you're going to do? So I'm going to give you I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I got me a new holding company, and I am funding the capital accounts. Essentially, I'm taking the money from the dominant male course and I'm putting that in this capital account. So it's not even coming out of Hustlers. I may actually start, because all the money from the dominant male course is going into my holding company capital account. And if you don't know what a capital account is, Web up a holding company. Your capital account is the money that you put into your holding company on a post-tax basis. This money's already got taxes paid on it. This is just investment money. So I was going to pull the trigger in December, but I'm gonna keep stacking money because we're getting real close, and I may be able to get a house and walk in with 30, 40, $50,000 equity on a rental, pay cash for that bad boy, rent it out, then go get a mortgage on it later. Just T, what's the best business to be in during a recession? Any business that people need. Insurance, car sales. If you're in a position where people need your business. See, here's the thing. And going back to what I said earlier, the businesses, regardless of who they are, that know how to market and advertise, are going to make more money during a recession. Man. Black Caesar, I'm just trying to save as much money as possible. That's it, man. Stack that cash. Stack that cash. Ace one, US will not hold the world position of reserve status for long. I don't know about that. We still got the military. James Lewis, I already know about the Burr the Burr method. Buy, rehab, refinance. So, one of the things that's going to happen is you got to start stacking some money. So while times are good, let's say you got a job, you got a good credit score, 720 and above, you need to go out and get your business credit cards now based on to your W-2 income. Be more happy. I would advise getting a gun. I know, be real. I don't know. I don't really concern myself with government jobs. I don't really concern myself with jobs. I have no clue what's going to happen with that. I do know that the recession is going to hit everything. And if you're not really marketing your business, or you don't know how to market your business, you're going to be in trouble. Last recession, I made money because I was marketing. This YouTube channel was a marketing device. And, the next one, this YouTube channel, I will be running Facebook ads. You're going to have to run some ads, man. Done. Lots of deals are coming. Absolutely. I don't know because I haven't looked at Canada's economy. But from what I see, this is going to impact Europe. This is going to impact China. So it may get Canada as well. Malik Vanderpool, I'm hiring a salesperson to diversify in different markets for my business. Also going to double my marketing budget. Because see, I'm going to give you some numbers. You got a small little business. It makes you $4,000 to $6,000 a month. You should have target $1,000 to $2,000 a month for marketing. This is going to be that critical for you to stay in business. Cisco just laid off 500 today. Good Lord. Yeah, I heard about that. Chinese companies abandoning projects in California this summer. Yeah, Erica, China has some problems. You know, China's going to go through a recession. We're going to go through the recession. Japan's going to go through the recession. And just to be clear, the recession is going to get deeper. Retail is already in depression. We already have sectors in a recession, and there's just going to be more and more of them. I stacked sports shoes a few months ago. As you said, sales not picking up after school opens. Seeing that happens every year, man, like clockwork. Chinese ask millionaires to bring children back from California. I don't know if those kids want to go back. They live in that millionaire life. Gold is catching a nice spike. Once again, you know, gold and silver should only comprise 5, maybe 10% of your portfolio. And that's just a hedge. Now, Bitcoin has crashed. Now, this is something else because all the Bitcoin people thought Bitcoin was going to go up, and it went down. Let's see, what is Bitcoin now? All right, so it's back up to 10,315. Bitcoin is unpredictable. Be more happy. I'm in trucking, and today is the first time I had no load. I drive reefer, which is food products and necessity, and it's getting slow. Well, Chinese is not going to, they're not going to withdraw their RE holdings. They're going to leave that money over here. Oh, you're going to see a lot of stuff close because one of the things is many of the older companies don't know how to market. Let's take Country Wayne. Let's take all of these Instagram stars. For a long, long time, the celebrities and stuff ignored Instagram, ignored YouTube. Then they saw these people get bigger than they were on YouTube and Instagram, and now they're coming back. Like Will Smith has a YouTube channel. The Rock has a YouTube channel. They have, you know, and The Rock is really good with social media. I think he's got like 100 million followers across all his social media. So a lot of them are playing catch up because I'm going to tell you, if you don't know how to do stuff online, you ain't going to make it. To fly, I don't know. Truckload dispatchers are mostly Middle Eastern and Eastern Europe. My third party company is Eastern European, and we stay busy. Connections. There will be, what's going to happen with trucking is the people that know how to get it are going to get bigger. And then you're going to have a lot of these little regional truckers who maybe have high debt loads. They're going to go under. Will Disney stocks getting ready to rise? Well, entertainment, vice, weed, porn, that stuff does well in recessions as well. Sharita, yes, it's going to impact Kroger. James Lewis, blockchain technology is good, not the value part. Hey man, there was this fund that raised $150 million to get into the weed business. So Adonis, I see more trade in the future. Get the Spanish skills up. Stadium stats, time for me to wholesale more properly and stack up. Everybody needs to be stacking cash. Right now, you need to be stacking cash. You need to be getting out of debt. You need to be stacking cash. Those who have cash, when most people don't, I want you to think of being the prettiest girl at the prom, where even the teachers are kissing your ass. If he who has cash when no one else does, you're going to be a very powerful person. Be more happy, Eric. I work with Eastern Europeans and they're connected, but it's getting super cutthroat out here. Yeah, Steve Jameson, it's about that cream. Cash rules everything around me because, once again, I've been on this tip for almost 2 years, and I've been telling you guys what you need to do to get ready for this because, believe it or not, during the recession is when millionaires and billionaires are created. Because what's going to happen is everyone that's not ready for this recession, they don't have any cash, they don't know how to market, their business is going to fall off and it's going to be gobbled up by these smart marketers. See, this is why I'm not afraid of a recession because, I got my little plan, getting the real estate, my first deal. Because I was going to do my first deal, October, November. I'm going to keep stacking cash because we are on a countdown. We're having a recession 2020. It ain't going to stop. We're past the point of no return. When the yield curve inverted twice within 8 months, twice. And that's why the stock market reacted the way that it did, because it was like, oh, this is real. This is the second time in less than a year that it's done that. I know stadium status. Barbershops, people still gonna get their haircut. 80% of Americans can't even come up with $1,000. And that is sad. Like this earning app, it just drives me crazy. Hotels, airplane cheaps getting airplane tickets is getting cheap. Oh, it's coming. I'm in music, I'm in tech, and assuming the recession. How your people gonna buy your products, man? What's up, Johnny Walton? And Donna's Few has been ready ever since I've seen more truck drivers turning trucks to the truck lots. About 5 to 6 companies already went bankrupt. Private plane even cheap. It should tell you something. Stating Glenn getting contract with some wholesalers. Oh, dude, I mean, I'm not even going to any realtors. What I'm going to start doing is get around some of these real estate investors in my area, start hanging out with them and get my deals through them. I'm not, because why pay the money? Because if I get connected with the real estate guys, I can get something and walk into it with equity. Whereas I go to the traditional route, I get me a real estate agent. I got to pay all this closing and all these additional fees. No. I've been studying this, man, for months. Black Caesar. Oh, man, the malls are gone, man. Well, see, the thing is, there's always a deal. This is something I learned in the storage auction business. There's always a deal. There's always someone in trouble. There's always a deal. You got to have the nose to sniff out that deal, because my first property, I plan on going in with, 20, 30, 40, 50K of equity because I'm going to get it that cheap. Because when you have cash, you the golden rule, he who has the gold makes the rules. I'm like, they can ask, 350,000 for this property. I'm going to walk in with 275 offer. See if they keep talking. I'm going to walk in with equity. That's why I'm waiting for this thing to really catch fire, because once people start losing homes, once people start getting behind rent, they get very flexible on these pricing. All right, Ebony White. Johnny Walton, I'm not getting the miles I used to get in trucking. My paychecks are smaller. Trucking will be impacted, man. How would the D-boys or strippers be affected? Stripping and porn. This chick, it got out that she only made $12,000 when she was doing porn, and she did 27 movies. So that came out to $450 per movie. These industries have already been impacted because there is too much supply for the demand. I mean, it ain't hard to find a girl that want to do that stuff. They're lined up. So the bigger the supply, the less the demand. So that's all. That industry is already going through some changes. I think the self-storage business is going to take a hit because a lot of people are going to tiny house movement, living in vans. No, I didn't see Grand Old Vlad. Malik Vanderpump. Last recession, I had no money and I saw plenty of deals. This time around, I'm prepared. Secured real estate line of credit and stacking cash. That's the ticket, man. That's the ticket. Opportunity is like a yellow car, easy spot when you think if yellow card's mindset. Be more, I disagree with you. It's about the property. Because once again, you got to go in and you got to get a good deal. Because the thing is, something else I learned from storage auction business. You make your money when you buy. So I don't want to pay too much for the property because let's say I overpay by 80K. You know how many years it's going to take me to make that up? Whereas I go in with equity, go in and get myself a good renter. That's the ticket. I've been studying this, man. Stadium low income housing reigns. Facts. When Amex starts sending you credit cards in the mail without applying to all my LLCs, you know what's happening. I thought that was illegal for them to send you credit cards without applying. But you know, they've changed all the laws with Trump in office. Mazda 131. Yeah, I'm over the road truck driver and the loads are definitely being affected. Oh man, you ain't seen nothing yet. Wait, it's going to get worse. Right, for real estate. I think real estate will start dropping this winter. I think so too. B-boys sell even more because depression sells drugs. Vices do well in depressions, in recessions. My buddy says even in Vegas, female to male ratio is high. He said the women were stunned how much drinks cost because now they were buying drinks and there weren't enough men at the bar. Marketplaces are shifting, man. Well, Adonis, dudes don't have the money to go out and hang out in Vegas and blow that money like they used to. They don't. Jimmy Crave, I've seen 15 apartments renter kicked out their apartments in the last 3 months because they were 2 or 3 months behind on rent. Times are hard, man. Barlicon, you said a million times starting a new business to work to start a new venture. My partner backed off because we didn't make enough. He did me a favor. He had no foundation to sweat. Man, he gave you that business. Congratulations. Dang. Grant said Dave is stupid for saying all of debt is bad. Then he said something like Dave's worth about 50 million. My plane costs more than that. Grant cocky. Grant cocky. Black Caesars. Money, real estate, and tenants is one of the everlasting hustles that will get you through recession. Oh yeah, man. I have been doing my homework because once again, even when you go in with cash, you want to stretch your cash. You want to get the best deal because, like I said, I'm gonna go in and whatever they're asking, my offer is gonna be 20 to 30% less just to see who's desperate. Because I remember there was a house in my old neighborhood that was selling for 259. If I had been in the mindset I'm in now, I would have bought that sucker because they went in with $250,000 of equity. That same house, I looked it up, it's almost 600,000 now. Same house. Master, how much would you recommend to save up to invest in real estate, like 5 unit apartments? Well, it just depends. Um, my target is 350K, and that's just for one house. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that 350, my goal is not to spend the whole 350 and go ahead and get that first house, then go to the bank. Because see, this is why I got to get a deal on the house because the bank's not going to give me the full asking price. They're going to give me, I think, 70% or 75%. So I got to get a deal that covers what I put into that house, take that money, go ahead and buy another house, then repeat, wash, rinse, and repeat. But see, the key is having that first lump. Is the insurance industry recession proof? No, man. Eric Williams, apartments are taking a hit, go single family. That's definitely my plan because I love Grant, but see, Grant is buying commercial class A properties. He's buying properties with rents of like 1,200 to $2,000 a month. That's a whole different ball game than you going out and getting, a 33 unit multifamily apartment complex that's close to Emory. That's totally different classification of people of your renter. Totally different. Adonis, that's true. Some of the best innovations happen in a crisis. Absolutely. There's a lot of people who invest in trailer parks. There's money there. But see, once again, once you have your first lick of money, because let's put it this way. Let's say your name is James, you have no personal debt, your car is paid off, you got $50,000 in the bank. If you invest that money correctly at the end of the recession, that 50 can turn to 250, maybe even half a million. But you got to have that initial cash. Other people's money is going to be so hard to get. Like let's say you got a great credit profile, you got like $500,000 in open lines. You start using those outside of your normal usage pattern, Amex gonna shut you down. They're gonna cram your limits down. Chase, they're gonna shut you down. Because with my cards, I spend a certain amount of money to give their algorithm, oh, this is what this guy does, and he always pays. But if you don't have high spending patterns and you all of a sudden get a high spending pattern during the recession, they're gonna cut you off, man. Stadium, I sold a few trailers. Most people need to move. The tenants are shit though. Rod for real estate. Apartments in some areas would be better deals as the market takes a hit. What's up, King Nick? Carmageddon is going on at all the big dealerships. Moss, would you recommend? Like, once again, first of all, there is no reason for you to be asking me this question, Mazda. There is too much information online about, because you got to come up with your own game plan. Like, I'm not going to do Airbnb because I like the stability of getting a consistent monthly income and building my portfolio that way. So, but once again, depending on what your goals are, research, figure out where you want to get into the market. Thank you, Fahita. Oh, they're going to tighten up. I mean, right now, credit is like they're throwing credit cards at people. And the minute it tightens up, you will see credit lines reduced. This is why it is so important for you to have your own cash. Have your own cash. No one can take that away from you. Thank you, Gentlemen Driving Club. So you got to have some cash. Grant Cardone, listen, he talks about it. He first 3 deals, he had cash. He's like, I was out here working like a maniac. I was never home. I just kept stacking cash. You're going to need some cash to start doing these deals. You're going to need some cash for these hard money lenders to look at you like, all right, you going ahead and saying, I need to borrow the down payment. I need to borrow the money for the house. I need to borrow the money for the rehab. I'm like, good Lord, you have no skin in the game. A seasoned investor going to be like, this person has no discipline. I don't know if this person's going to be able to complete the project. So you got to have some cash. Cash is going to be very, very important. And, you need to have your holding company set up with your capital account. So, because essentially, what I did with the dominant male course, I took all that money and I'm putting it into, because I added this, because I was taking money out of Hustlers Kung Fu. And now I'm still taking money out of Hustlers Kung Fu. But now with the dominant man course doing so well, I'm able to put even more money, because this month I'm probably going to put 25 to 30K in the capital account this month. And, I got, I'll tell you my mad evil plan. One of the things I'm doing, like the dominant male Facebook page is at 3,900 likes. It's happened in 2 weeks because I'm using Facebook ads. And I'm getting a lot of comments from folks who don't like the page because, the page has a little organic reach. And I'm spending about $100 a day to get that. So when I get up to 5,000 or 6,000 likes, then I'm going to start running Facebook ads for that project. And all that cash is going to go to the real estate business. So, because like I listen to Grant and somebody says, I got these companies, we do about 150 million a year. And we take all this money and we put it in real estate. And I said, that's just brilliant. Not the stock market, not ETFs, but into high grade real estate. Because Grant's buying Class A buildings. He's not buying like this little Rudy Poo apartment complex with 40, 50 units and this in the hood. He's buying Class A properties in desirable locations and making them better. Nope, Fajita, know nothing about it. Rod, it took Grant years to do the first deals because he was looking for good deals with cash. Look at where he is now. Yep. Grant is also backed by the biggest lenders in America. But see, Grant has a lot of cash. See, Grant has a lot of his own cash. His companies do 150 million a year. So, that helps out a lot. All right, CR2 lives. Because one of the things that you got to look at is you got to have cash. Like, when times are good, other people's money is everywhere. People are throwing money at you. They're investing in startups. But when times are tight, you won't be able to get a meeting. These folks are looking for surefire bets. They're not going to have the largest to just take money and invest it into something they don't know. Like, once again, like my real estate plans was, if dominant male blows up the way that I think it will, I may have $1 million next year to put into real estate. And, as much as, because I remember the last apartment unit I lived in, they actually sold it in a sister property, and it was $40 million, but they were Class A apartments. My rent was $1,100 a month for a 2-bedroom. Rent now is $1,950. So they bought the place and they raised rent substantially, and because of the area, they could do it. Gentlemen's Driving Club. I keep telling people that commercial RE is the best investment. After seeing what Grant has built, doing my own research and looking at other options, nothing else makes as much sense. I would, a laundromat is a cash business, but once again, I'm past the whole laundromat thing. Do some research on that. This is not something that I would buy. And see, my goal is I'm not going to be buying $150,000 houses. 350 to 450, because I can get rents of $3,000 or more on a $450,000 house. 300, I can get two something. So I've been studying the market. So let's say next year, dominant male blows up. I get $1 million or $2 million. All of that's going into real estate, because Hustlers Kung Fu, I'm keeping that. And that's, really, I don't live on a lot of money. I think, to pay for this house and all my bills, maybe $5,000 a month. And whenever I do a little extracurricular, we may go up to 7 or 8. So I don't really need a lot of money to live. I might go out and buy a car or something, but I'm gonna pay cash for it. So my expenses are really low. So if I were to make $2 or $3 million, shoot, all that's going in real estate. All of it, all of the extra money's going into real estate, because I've been looking at people and I've studied people and I've seen how real estate has changed people's lives. Literally. Be more happy. I like the old barter system anyway. I trade your goat for your cow. That's real currency. That's funny. One of the things that you guys should be aware of is your debt loads. You got to be real careful with your debt loads. Do not be out here just, putting a vacation on the credit card. That's stupid with what's coming. B. Moore Grant also uses crowdsourcing. Absolutely. He uses his channel. He gets people to invest. So, my goal this time next year is to have plenty of cash to throw off in the real estate, because, just the math, like if I have 10 houses in the option, option one is to pay cash for them. Because if my business blows up the way I want, I'll have the cash to pay. So 10 $350,000 houses is $3.5 million in real estate. I'm going to buy the houses at a discount. So, the house will be worth 350, 400, but I won't pay that for it. So I will have the equity in there. But 350, $3,000 a month, that's $30,000 a month passive income, minus 10% for taxes and, stuff. But here's the beauty of my plan. Until those rents equal what I paid to the house, I don't pay any taxes on that money for decades. Let me say that again. I will not be paying taxes on this money for decades. $30,000 a month for decades. Because 30,000 a month is 360K a year. Like I said, take 10%, for taxes and stuff. I mean, and that's just the first round, that's the first goal. And done, let's be ready to cater to the do-it-yourself crowd. Absolutely. Be real. I'm stacking for the recession. I'll be buying commercial buildings. All right. D Shields, I know a lot of real estate agents, but very few of them really invest in real estate. It's kind of interesting. Really, people are restricting these van dwellers. I don't know. Chase, I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand why Chase just forgave all those balances. They could have closed their credit card down and still got paid. I don't know why they did that. So, essentially, and this is one of the reasons that you want to build a business. You build a business that gives you the excess cash flow to really invest in big boy style. Because, like I said, there's a few meetings I got to go to. I got to get to know some of my real estate investors around here, and I'm going to come in because I've already have a successful business. So that's going to set me apart than someone like, hey, Mr. Hard Money Lender, I need 150,000. I need 200,000. I'll be like, yo, man, I got a mill in the bank, you know, and I'm not going to be loaning money for 12%. That doesn't excite me. Man, I mean, in times when most people don't have money, to have cash, Black Caesar, will set you apart like no one else will. Yeah, stadium stats. I don't really see a lot of real estate. Most of the people I see who are really serious about real estate investment don't even get their license. They just go out and get houses. Because once, I get to, my first goal is 10 houses, and then I'm going to re-strategize because I want those 10 houses because I don't want to be a hood lord. I know people make money buying houses in the hood. Like right now, I have enough money where I can go ball out in Detroit. I could probably pick up 15, 20 properties in Detroit. But I got to rehab them. I got to work on them. I really don't want to do that. I'd rather be in a situation where I can see and touch my real estate. Now, once again, there are many people who are very successful who buy real estate out of town, never see it, have people manage it. I'm not doing it that way. I'm going to be able to go to my properties, drive around, look at them, because one of the things I'm going to do is create my own property management company. Because with 10 rentals, that's enough. I mean, 10 rentals, 360K a year, that's enough money to pay someone, 30, 40K to manage the property. So I don't get a call at midnight, for about a leaky faucet or something like that. So that's just the first round, and we will see. Be real, G. You could be a hard money lender or a private money lender. I'm not going to be a lender. Two Fly was worth 13 million in '09 before I did my bid. What did you do to lose all your money? Chris Monroe, come by in St. Louis. I'll show you the rope. I'm up to 10 houses now. Congratulations, man. Ace one. Detroit's a city that had 65 city blocks without one resident. they paid property taxes in 2014. Good Lord. Oh yeah, Rod for real estate. Yeah, because once I get to multiple houses, I'm probably going to, because the way I see it, I'm probably just going to pay to have the lawn cut, make sure that it's cut, just go ahead and hire, and put this into the rent. All right, y'all talking about St. Louis. But this is once, what puts me in this position is I have a business that throws off cash. And this is the same thing that put Grant in the position. Because see, I've been looking at Grant and he's got 6,000 properties and they're all Class A properties. That's $7.2 million a month. $7.2 million a month. It's 80 something million a year. So even if he does have high debt, he can easily pay it with that kind of cash flow. All right. Let's see. Let's get rid of that crash. Chris Monroe, it's a hot market here. I'm closing another wholesale deal next Friday. 11,000 for 2K of work, 2 hours of work. Congratulations. Be more happy. Your tenants will pay more happily when they see a property manager. So Chris is doing it out there in the Lou. So, once again, the whole deal is the recession is on lock. It's coming for most of America, and it's going to be brutal. And you need to be debt free if possible, or pare down your debt where it's not bothering you. Because, the way that some people live, I couldn't live like that. You got a mortgage, you got a car note, you got credit card debt. That's just too much. It's too much. I couldn't live like that because so much of your money is gone before you get it that you can't stack. It doesn't work. Donna's Foods, when you look at money as stored energy, you make things way differently. Chris Monroe, I can't wait till the recession. I'm going to buy all the real estate. Hey, you got goals, man. You got goals. Congratulations. Because Chris actually started in resale. And now he's graduated to owning 10 houses in real estate. Yeah, you got to get that cash flow. I mean, what helps me, like I had a heart attack, but my cash flow actually went up while I was in the hospital. And I didn't even, because I was so disoriented and stuff when I got out. But cash flow. I had cash flow when I was laid on my back. Cash flow is everything. Rugged collars. I don't really know about that. I don't think this recession will play out the way people think our grid could go down. We already got problems with the grids in certain cities. Hey, Brendan, you made me realize something. When people spend $400 a month on a car payment, when the payment is finished, they still spend the $400. They don't save it. Yes, Americans have a bad habit of saving money, man. They don't have the right information. Adonis just laid it out. People play the game of Monopoly, but rarely use the same results in real life. Because where you want to be is a business owner with low lifestyle cost. And that could be predicated on, like, if you make $1 million and you spend 150, 200,000 a year living, you're that's low cost for your income. So it should be based upon your income. But you want to have some cash to create some investments and, create a business, which creates cash, get you some real estate, which creates cash flow. And, you know, because that's pretty much where I'm going. Because I'm not messing around with the stock market because I don't understand the stock market. And until I get a greater understanding of the stock market, I'm not messing with it. See, real estate is something I can understand, and I've had real estate before. You buy it, you get yourself a renter in there, and you get a check every month. Yeah, the stock market, if you don't understand it, like if you understand it, you can make crazy money. But if you don't understand it, you can lose a lot of money. Done. So I'm shorting corn right now because I know that market. And with Trump and all his wild moves, he's impacting a lot of markets. But go ahead, get your holding companies together, get your capital accounts, and make saving money a habit. Like this month, I've put I put 10,000 in the capital accounts already. And I may add another 10 to 15 because today is only the 15th. So we got 16 more days. And just depending on, like, if I get into the Facebook advertising, if that money comes in, it's going to shoot. See, you got to have a plan for your money to work for you. If you don't have a plan for your money to work for you, it won't work for you. Stan the man. Parts of the recession is here. Masa, I don't set up LLCs. I sell a course that'll teach you how to do that yourself. The right way, not the legal Zoom way, but the right way. Because one of the things that you will have to do is, let's see, Hustler Kung Fu Life Skills. Yeah, I've changed all this around. So the Art of Holdings, business credit, legal structure and stuff, that's $12.50. I'm probably going to increase that price up. You got to start playing this corporate game, man. You got to start playing this game. Set yourself up where you build the tax deductions. Because, like, when I buy these properties and I pay cash, I've given myself not quite 30 years because I had a chart. Because rents are going to raise. Like every 10 years, I'm probably going to be able to add 1,500 to 2,000 a month. So I start off at 3. Year 10 will be the 5,000 a month. And this is something else too. I've been studying rents. Rents don't go down. They may not go up, they may stabilize, but they don't go down. Oh, I see housing prices across the country slowing down. See, most people are priced out of home ownership. Home ownership is the lowest it's been in decades because people just don't have the income to buy a house. Yeah, I mean, I've been studying rents because the thing is, once you get that house and then you get a renter and you start looking long term, like, whoa, 10 years, I started renting this house at, 2,000. Year 10, I'm renting it out for 4,000. So you got the house, and due to market prices, the rent goes up and up and up. That's a beautiful thing. All right, Tone Fitness, I appreciate that. Kirk Johnson, right now, small farmers do not make that much. Well, that's part of their own fault. I know a girl that makes $1 million off of 2 acres because she grows these seasonings and she's set up her customer base. She's like, well, if I grow X, Y, and Z, will you buy it? She did all that before she started growing it. So she got 3 acres and she makes almost $1 million a year from 3 acres. See, a lot of farmers just go out there and farm. They're not real business people. Rod, I know. Yeah, who would have thought rent would be 2,000 a mini year? And also, another thing that I'm going to do is stay with my neighborhood. I'm going to buy properties around here because I know this neighborhood, and the goal is to get a property in a very good school district. And that'd be one of the selling points because people love good school districts. Jay Cleveland, the second, I'm in South Carolina. They're attempting to make this a new Silicon Valley. Rents going up and traffic getting worse. Oh yeah, good skills. Lawn service included. Because see, I know how a lot of landlords think. They think super cheap. Get their rent check. I ain't gonna do nothing. Well, I'm gonna create my own property management company, which I'll hire. I'll get a lawn service. I'll get a handyman. I'll just have this stuff on staff. But this comes with scale because after the first 10, I plan on buying some more stuff. Glennon looking at lease options is a game changer. Rent's okay, but lease options are the bomb. No maintenance, no repairs, no property management required. 3 profit centers as well. Well, see, my goal is to buy these houses and never sell them, to never ever sell them and put them in a trust. Yeah, I know some people that got some serious benefits from the VA. Fortunately for me, I wasn't hurt. Oh, Adonis Fuse, some states have banned lease options. Yeah, because I'm going to keep my real estate business very simple. You know, buy a property, and that's something else too. Because buying the properties, because I'm gonna buy houses that don't need work, so I'll be able to move a renter in there as soon as I close. Actually, I'll start advertising the house before I close. If we close on Thursday, I'm advertising that house Monday to get people, interested. I may have that sucker rented out before I even buy it. Rod for real estate. Stand out as a management company and you make your properties more appealing. Your management company be a write-off too. Yep. Lease option for exit strategy. I never plan on selling any. Black Caesar. If you were on the other side of the fence, what would you do if you're starting from scratch? I would still get back into sales. Got the job at Rent a Crate. I would duplicate. Well, I would do the same thing because I started from scratch. I started from a rough situation. I got the job at Rent a Crate. They taught me how to sell. I mean, really, that deal, I made out like a bandit on that deal because they taught me how to sell and they paid me, and I'm still using those lessons to this day. Learn how to sell. Learn how to sell. And if I could have, I would have gotten the business earlier. Eminem, so do you need an LLC for each property? Or will one be okay? That's something that I'm going to make that decision once I start acquiring them, because I'm probably going to put 2 or 3 properties per LLC. So, the risk of just 3 properties versus all 10 in one. Because, I've been exploring these options. You can buy this multi-million dollar umbrella policy to cover anything. But what I'm probably going to do, I already got the holding company, which I'm already funding. And then when I get my first property, I'm going to create my first operating LLC. And that property, one, two, probably three. Three would probably be the most that will go up in there, because that would be at 350,000 property. That's $1 million per LLC. All of your properties are in trust. That's interesting. For your kids, when you say learning how to sell means getting a sales job, yeah, sales job, not networking and MLL, none of that stuff. Because that's the most valuable skill set that you can acquire when learning how to run your own business, is knowing how to sell. Michael Shanley was the CEO of Rent-A-Crate. He was the best salesperson we had. So him being a good salesman, he taught us how to be salespeople. I think he means land trust. Because see, I'm going to put mine in LLCs. And once I get the properties, I'm going to create an irrevocable trust, because the goal is to never sell these. In the trust, I'll be able the ability to finance them and, get loans and stuff in them. But I'm not. Chris Monroe, yes, grant of revocable trust. Only a few states recognize a land trust. See there? Educating me on that right now. Because this is going to be an ongoing business that I will not pay taxes on for decades. For decades. Because until the rents exceed what I paid for this house, I've made no profit. So I will be getting wealthy because the price of the house is going to go up a little bit, and the rents are going to go up a little bit, and I'm going to have a tax dodge. I mean, do what you want to do, Phoenix. If you need to move, because some of y'all need to move. Some of y'all need to get around other people. Some of y'all need to grow your businesses. That's right. Get like Trump, never pay tax deferred to the cap. Because this is one of the reasons that I'm going for this strategy, because, you know, based upon my projections, this gets real nice in year 5. Rents go up. Um, it has a built-in tax shelter where money just is flowing. Yep, the 27.5 years depreciation schedule. Well, you could put an LLC inside the trust. But once again, my goal is to get the first 10 properties. And because first year that I have all 10, it's going to be $360,000. And by year 10, yeah, they'll be doing probably 4,000 a month. So that will go up to about 4,500 per month. And all I got to do is maintain them. So, and also keep pushing on my business. Because, like I said, I've changed everything with Hustlers Kung Fu. I've set that up differently. And right now, money, income, and profits down for some reason. They're working on it. They haven't been able to fix it for a few days. And I'm going to create more stuff. Black Caesar, I'm not buying any hood property. I mean, this may sound a little highfalutin, but I'm not going to buy a property that I would not live in. And I ain't living in the hood. I'm not going to become a slumlord. This works because of the way that I'm getting the properties, Ricardo. I mean, I will have a full-fledged business making several hundred thousands a year that I would be paying absolutely no tax on, and still get to depreciate the houses to offset the income from my other business tax. So, I got to sit down with my CPA and go over this again. Be real. Full-time real estate investors don't pay taxes. They can write off 100% of what they spend. They call it professional investors. Yeah, I mean, you got something that the first, 10 years is going to do 3.6 million, no taxes. Then the next 10 years is probably going to do 4 million, 4 point something million, no taxes. In the next 10 years, it's probably going to do about 5 or 6 million, no taxes. It's a beautiful thing. Hood property is definitely different. I just locked up a 2-for-1 that needs a little to no work for 5,000. I think I would still wholesale it. T. Hardy, it's funny how all the streams you ever done, this is where you're sharing real estate goals and objectives that are actually my long-term goals. Look in the Boston area, a lot of the multifamily out there, big rents, big profits. I'm going to stay in my own backyard because I know my backyard, and I know that many real estate investors buy all over the country. There are people who buy houses they've never laid eyes on. They got people to do all that stuff for me. Well, my first, ones, I'm going to be heavily involved. Chris Monroe, some people don't believe that taxes are your largest expense. Amen, man. This is why I'm saying any financial education that doesn't take into account taxes is incomplete. So, with that, I'm about to go. I will see you guys later. Have a good weekend if we don't talk again. And for those of you who, that's funny. Aha. All right, I'm gonna put the art of holding there. Okay. I don't know why the title of the last stream popped up in there, but the art of holding is where the juice is. All right. So with that, I will see you guys later.